What's up, guys? Flash Frame here. Um, doing something that's a little different today. This isn't part of the Flash Shock podcast. This isn't one of my gameplay videos. This is about. This is a vlog about me. This is a vlog about my worries, about things that I'm concerned about currently in current world events, things of that nature. Um, so if you're here for my usual content, that's not what this vlog series is going to be about. So first, I want to go into kind of what made me decide to do a vlog like this. Well, I need a voice. I think that we all kind of, need a voice, and this is my way to have my voice, I guess. So, what is this particular vlog episode about? Um, it's about concerns regarding my status as an individual within the GLBT community. Um, it's not exactly something that I hide, despite my physical appearance. Um, I identify transgender. I'm trying to get things rolling to transition female. This has proved very, very difficult over the years, mostly due to insurance problems. Um, and because of this, because of my status as a transgendered individual and um, homosexual, uh, who will be entering into a marriage soon enough, I have a lot of stakes in the current political climate. Stakes that I wish I didn't. I really would rather have no. I wish it was like the old days. Until this election season, I was not very political. Um, I'm 31 years old. I haven't worried at all about politics for the most part over the years. I mean, I kept my head to the ground. I celebrated the marriage equality ruling. Things like that. Things that I knew were going to impact and matter to me. But there's a I'm afraid. I will put it right out there. I'm afraid of where the United States is currently heading. Um, it's a terrifying prospect currently. I mean, we have literally a situation where on the Republican side, their front runner is someone who incites violence against those that don't agree with him. On the Democratic side, we have a woman who has flopped on the issues more times than I care to count, and has not secured her own uh, emails and things of that nature. I don't agree with her policies. I don't agree with Trump's policies or Cruz's policies. Um, yeah, politically, I'm firmly in the camp of Bernie Sanders, but I'm in a position where even as a supporter of Bernie Sanders, even if I was to go out and vote for Bernie, I would not, my vote wouldn't matter, um, because of my own family. My family, thankfully, I live on my own, but my immediate family, including my grandmother and grandfather and mother and stepfather, all are very, very staunch Republicans and have already expressed to me that they will be voting Republican in this election. And I respect that. I can't, as somebody who lives in America, I can't fault them for deciding to vote that way. Um, what I do fault is, in the instance of my grandmother, um, she's in her 70s, has never voted in an election, and flat out told me that she is voting in this election specifically to vote for Trump. Um, that terrifies me. That absolutely terrifies me because I feel completely alone. I I have a family that's literally not willing to fight for my rights and is willing to literally go counter to my own beliefs because they can, I guess. It's very hard to understand where they're coming from with this because like I can't even, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around it. Um and anytime I ask a Trump supporter why they want to vote for Trump, it's always, well, he speaks his mind, or he's not like the other politicians, and that that terrifies me as well because it takes a politician to play the political game, and he can't. I don't see how this man could ever play the political game on the world stage. He doesn't have the experience to do it. He has zero experience in government. He has six failed companies, six failed business ventures, of which only the seventh has taken. He only gets 4 to 8 years to do what he wants to do with America, and it's taken him much longer to make a successful business. So I have zero faith that that man could ever run the country. Um, Hillary is far too flip floppy on issues, and I love Bernie to death, but he's so anti-establishment and revolutionary that I don't see him getting in just because he won't have the votes. So I'm put in a position where even voting for the lesser of two evils isn't a good. I'm not in a comfortable position. There is, in my opinion, right now, there is no lesser of two evils. Um, Cruz is terrible. Um, I think it's Cruz that's in right now. For the life of me, I can't remember right now who's opposing Trump. I want to say it's Ted Cruz, but Cruz really isn't a much better choice. Um, from a civil rights perspective, from a um, marriage equality perspective. I mean, when all of the Republicans have vowed to overturn marriage equality, I'm terrified because I'm looking to marry my fiance in the coming months, and my marriage to her may mean my moving um, to the Netherlands, and what what happens if the marriage equality ruling is overturned? Um, will I be able to apply for a spousal visa? That's something that really concerns me because I'm not moving for a year. Um, so will I be able to, you know, I don't know. Again, I feel stranded and alone. Um, the government has fucked me over at every turn. There's a few things. Okay, so there's a few things that are on my that have been rolling around my head in the past week that I really need to get out. As a trans person, I understand that we all have our struggles. This is not, nobody chooses to be transgender. Um, you just are. You do not feel comfortable in your own skin, and you want to match what you feel you are. And this is not me, in my opinion. I've never felt comfortable in it like this. I never have. So one of the things that has come up recently, um, I was a member of a trans advocacy group, a trans support group, excuse me, on Facebook recently, and I was kicked out of the group for responding to a post um, promoting an article that basically was trying to say that trans people of color have it harder, and that basically I should check my privilege because I'm white and all of that. Um, Now, I'm not going to deny that there may be a level of white privilege out there. Um, I live currently in Arizona. I've never witnessed white privilege, to my knowledge. And I don't know if part of that is because I look Hispanic, or if part of that is because I grew up um, I grew up under the assumption that I will always be told no. Like white privilege is a really foreign concept to me, and it took talking to my roommate who is a person of color, and sitting down with them and discussing what they feel white privilege is and things like that to bring to attention what people generally think or generally assign as white privilege. And I can tell you right now, I've never experienced white privilege, or at least if I have, I wasn't aware that that would have been what it was. Um, Living in Arizona, while I was in college, I was attempting to get uh, government aid because I couldn't work. And after, I was attempting to get government aid because I couldn't work. At the time, under the governor that we had during those years, because I was classified as a single white male, I was ineligible for insurance benefits. Um, when that was overturned, um, I attempted once again to get benefits. I did successfully end up on the program for all of a month, um, before I quote unquote made too much money at a job, which that job I then lost, thus putting me back in a position where I needed said assistance. And I haven't gone back to try to get it because it feels like every time I do, I end up in a position where I make too much money again and I lose the benefits. So it literally never does me any good because I never have the benefits long enough to do me any good. And then even though I get a job that makes more money, that money is all going out to bills and everything. Um, so again, if I don't want to downplay the problem that trans people of color have. Trans people of color do come from a different societal mindset. They do have a different set of societal enforcement. And it is much, much more difficult due to their own social interactions with each other to be a trans person of color and succeed. On the same token, I don't feel that just because you're a trans person of color, you can say that you're not racist. This article asserted that, and I will link to this article in the description of this video. This article asserts that a trans person, or that a person of color cannot be racist because their position on a matter cannot affect a white person's position. Thus, because their opinion has no bearing, which is not true, their opinion does have bearing, they cannot be constituted as racist. That to me is racist. Very, very racist. That to my roommate, who is a person of color, is racist. In voicing my displeasure and disagreement over this article, I was kicked out of the group, of which I had valued up until that point. So, to that group, thank you for being there. I'm sorry you support racism. And I'm sorry that you're not willing to open up a dialogue about that just because people point out the hypocrisy. So, there's that. Again, I just wanted to... I kind of needed to get this stuff out, because again, so there's that. Then there's the issue. There's the issue with my family, and supporting a group that literally wants to take my rights as a person away. There's my fear of the hate and violence that Donald Trump is inciting at his rallies, despite what he says, despite all that he says that, well, I don't incite violence. No, Mr. Donald J. Trump, you incite violence. If the leader of the KKK were to come out and say, hey, it's all the black people's fault that your life sucks, go kick the ass of a black person, he would be just as much at fault over his followers kicking the ass of a black person as you are for telling your supporters that your protesters should be beaten and that we should kill Muslims and women and children in a war zone. You know, I used to not be political, man. I used to not care about this shit. I used to just sit there and watch it go by. And I can't anymore. I can't just sit here and be silent when so much is going on and so much is wrong, and I'm so afraid. I fear for my brothers and sisters in the GLBT community. I fear for myself. I fear for those who vote in Trump, because you're not going to get what you think you're going to get. I fear for those who support hate and bigotry. And I fear for this nation, despite the fact that in a year I may be moving, I will hopefully be moving to the Netherlands to be with my wife, who I absolutely adore, but given the situation of marriage equality, and if a Republican ends up in office, I'm honestly afraid that one of the first things to go will be the marriage equality ruling. God, man. What happened, guys? Why can't we put this shit aside and just work for the betterment of all of us? I wish we could. Anyways. Again, I really needed to get this out and on video. I may do more of these as things come up. But I needed a vlog that I could go to get my thoughts down, to express my concerns. Not having a supportive family is really, really hard. Not having a supportive community is really, really hard. Not having the means to fix what's broken about me is really, really hard. You know, and I just want to be able to have affordable healthcare in a way that I can fix what's broken with me, and there's a lot broken with me. It's not just the trans issues. There's a lot more issues that I have than just that I can't get fixed because I don't have the money. I don't have the money for medications. I don't have the money to go see a doctor. I don't have any way to better myself, and I can't. Every time I get a new job, I lose that job. My current job, I'm barely making any hours. I'm venting right now, and I'm sorry, guys. I didn't plan to really get into this stuff, but I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I just wish that I could better myself. And I don't feel that I can. I guess we'll see what happens in a year. But sometimes, despite how much I love my fiance and all, it's really, really hard to hang on for that year. Anyways, thank you, guys, for those of you that have come and watched this vid all the way through. Um, just I care about all of you. I care about those of you out there, despite my own issues. I want what's best for all of us. And I don't know that we're going to get it. So, thanks again for watching, guys. Flash Frame out.